What's up, you guys? So I'm here with a new video today, and yes, I am alive. A lot of people have been wondering, where's my regular content? Where's, my discussion videos with you? And, I've been telling everybody the same thing. School has just been a real pain in the ass, to be honest. It's hard. I'm finishing out. I'm graduating soon, and, the workload's a lot more than I expected it to be. I go to school all week. I have online classes, which are not easy. Like, a little word of advice, don't think online classes are the way to go. Sometimes they are, a lot of times they're not. Sometimes that you end up spending more time doing them than you do, in your actual classes, and you're on a deadline, and you can't actually like trick your professor. Like, when something's due, it's due, and it locks out, and then you're totally screwed. So that's just a little word of advice. But anyways, this is a Yu-Gi-Oh video. Don't worry about my personal life. My life's fine. But I'm here pretty much kind of like a Slim Chat episode, kind of just like a a regrouping, a catch up with all you guys. I haven't really talked to you guys about anything in a long time, but I'll start, I guess, with the first things first. I am going to YCS Vegas. Literally, I got coaxed into going. I got bribed into going, begged into going, everything into going. I really didn't think I could make it. School schedule has been absolutely hectic, but fortunately enough, I was able to talk to one of my friends who's judging, and he's able to give me a ride down there on Thursday. Since I don't have class on Fridays, I'm able to go down there Thursday, and I'll be back here on Monday. So it ended up working out. Also, I do not have to teach for some of my classes. I do have to teach hour-long lessons, and my teaching schedule made it so that my lesson is on the Wednesday after the YCS. So I lucked out there. So thank God for that. I am able to go, and I haven't decided what deck I'm gonna play. I'm in between like 3 decks right now: Bujins, Geargia, and Mythic Rulers, and I'm literally just like trying to decide which deck to play. I'm leaning more towards Geargia. I really like the Geargia deck, the pure Geargia, none of the Karkuris. I know it's explosive, but I like the consistency of the rank 4 spam, and I'm just looking at a lot of builds, talking to a lot of players, and just trying to come up with the build that I want to make. If it's not that, it might be Mythic Rulers. I would play Bujin, but I really just don't want to play that mirror match. That mirror match is just an absolute I literally just don't want to sit there all day, Yamato versus Yamato all day, and pray that, you have the crane before they have the crane. But we'll see. That could all change. Anyways, what I'm here to talk about now is I'm giving this video the title, When the Dust Settles. And what that basically means is that Primal Origin is coming out. We're in a new format come April 1st. We already know the list. I've already made a couple videos on the list. Now, I didn't really address them personally for you guys. I did make, a lot of DN videos. I just didn't have a lot of time. But now that I've sat down and thought about it, what does this new format mean? In a sense, it is basically the same format. I said it's the same format, minor adjustments. That was one of the last videos where I talked to you guys about it. Now, basically what I meant by that is that we're in the exact same format we were last format. Mermails and Fire Fist are still being played. They've just lost a lot of their ammo. Not a lot of their ammo, but they've lost like some of the key cards. Mermails lost Gundy. That was huge. If you saw the top 8 YCS Vegas profile I did with my friend John Hubbard, he said that, I even asked him in the video, I want to make sure I asked him that, now that Gundy's at 1, how do you feel about the deck? He's like, the deck just lost a lot. Gundy was like such a power card. It made it so that you could spam the field so that you could get constant resurgence of monsters. And now that Gundy's at 1, granted it is searchable, it's not as consistent as it was before. So will the deck still be played? I believe so. I believe the deck, there's no reason to not play Mermail. You're just going to have new innovations. That's the thing, is as decks come and go, there's always going to be innovations. I definitely see Mermail being played. As Fire Fist goes, I've talked to a lot of Fire Fist players. I'm going to be having a regional first play top 8 deck profile going up of 3-axis Fire Fist. And I'm going to upload that because I want to talk about 3-axis Fire Fist. I'm going to save that for another video, and that's what I'm going to be doing with that deck profile. So it'll be a deck profile and a discussion in the same thing. So look forward to that. That'll be coming hopefully within the next couple of days. The reason why is I think 3-axis is amazing. Spirit has been at 1 for the longest time. People are still playing the deck. Wolfbark did go to 1, but the thing is, in 3-axis, a lot of people are running 3.5 axis, where they would run only 1 copy of Wolfbark. Well, Wolfbark's at 1, so yeah. So the deck is still playable. So I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to move on to the +1 Fire Fist, the very popular deck that Dalton Bowsman, Joe Bogley, Paul Clark, all the players that have been topping have been using, the triple Wolfbark, the Karkards, the low monster count, the the upstarts, the fiendish, everything. That deck did get hit. Wolfbark did go to 1. But I have already talked to Joe Bogley. I've talked to a lot of other players. They're still going to find ways to make the deck work. Joe said something in his video with my brother Vexy that you could just play Call of the Haunted, call back the Wolfbark. If it dies, call back the Wolfbark, use its effect. There's a lot of cool things you can do with the deck. So that'll be interesting to see what route they go. I personally tried to make a build of it. I ran Reborn Tengu. The only reason is that it's a Tenki. You can search it with Tenki. It works with your with your rank 4 spammage. It wasn't a bad option. I don't know if it's the right option, but it was just something that came to my head immediately. I thought of Reborn Tengu, so that was just something. So I do feel that +1 Fire Fist is not going to be seen as much, but it will be played, and people are going to find a way to play it, if not innovate it with other cards. Now those were the decks that mainly got hit, except for Infernity. So Infernity, real quick. There is going to be a fight for the entire format of whether Infernities are dead. I personally do not think they are dead. I feel that, I think someone put it in the comments, I don't remember who did, but said that XYZ Infernity was dead. I don't really know, I haven't played Infernity. I barely played against them like all format, and Synchro Infernity is what's coming back. Apparently there's a new card, Beazle, that dragon, so it's going to make Synchro decks, you know, just a little bit better. I played Synchro Infernity back when Infernities were the nuts, but you had triple barrier. Now the barrier is at 1, a lot of people are just going to run 3 break, 1 barrier, and possibly throw in like another card. What card that may be, I don't know. A lot of builds that topped only ran 2 copies of barrier and the 3 break, because break is really reactive. It doesn't require as much as barrier does. So it'll be interesting to see what people do with Infernities. I do not feel the deck is dead. I feel the deck will still be seen, but just in smaller numbers and with a little more innovation than just, you know, sitting behind barriers and winning the game like that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. For the rest of the decks, Boojins are, you know, they're amazing. You know, Kaiser Coliseum's a bitch. You know, Yamato, Crane, Turtle, Hare, everything. The deck just works. The deck is winning consistently now. The deck is there. The deck is in the top tier. It is being played, and it is a great deck. Nothing to say on Boojins. The deck didn't even get hit, so that deck's going to continue to thrive. Another deck, Geargia. I love Geargia. I think Geargia is one of the best decks in all the game. I love the deck. I think the deck is fantastic. It evolved from the Karakuri build to the now pure Geargia, which I think is just, you know, fantastic. At first I was a little hesitant. I was like, taking out the Karakuri engine and the Birdman seemed that you couldn't be as explosive, but when you lost explosiveness you gained consistency, and I really like the consistency factor of that deck. I like the fact that you can play a lot more traps. You can just be a little more controlling with your monsters, and Gear Gain and X is amazing. That card is just floating for days, and it just works so well. It lets me play my absolute favorite card, Ghost Trick Alucard. I love that card to death. It's Dracula. Everyone wants to know why I love Alucard now. I was born on Halloween, for those of you who don't know. I like dressing up as a vampire. It's Dracula. Yeah, you guys get the correlation. But anyways, I really like that deck. I think that deck is definitely one of the top contenders for the continuation of this format. And the last deck I'll touch upon is Mythic Rulers. That deck's interesting. You know, Skill Drain is a bitch. The deck's good. The deck can have some inconsistencies. You can draw some inconsistent hands. The deck is being cited for whether people acknowledge it or not. Debunk rapes the deck. Deprison rapes the deck. A lot of things can hurt the deck. But the deck is still a very viable option. And I do have the deck if anyone wants me to profile it. I have a lot of decks I could profile. I just have kind of like held off because I don't know if people want to see those. But in the comments below, if you want to see, I have Boojins, Geargia, Mythic Rulers. I have an upgraded version of Dark World. I'm not going to play Dark World this format, but I do have an upgraded version if people want to see that. I always keep that deck no matter what format. It always stays in my binder, so that deck's always there. And I have a bunch of other decks. If you guys want to see them, you know, just comment below. But now I'm going to talk about, now that the dust has settled, we know what the format is looking like right now. Primal Origin is going to have a huge impact, though. Primal Origin is going to make some decks just go over the top. Number one deck that comes to mind is Madolche. Madolche is already a really good deck. It is very fragile, though. Maxing or Veiloring at the proper time just completely shuts the deck down. Phoenix Chain does the same thing. Tiramisu is amazing, though. Card doesn't target. Card just, you know, just makes your life, like, miserable. That card is just so good, being at 2,700 and just wiping you when they have the field, so it can really suck. But that deck's gonna be really good, and Jelly's coming out, giving it just, you know, like a lone fire effect, giving the deck just a lot more explosiveness. So I see that deck being definitely one of the top contenders. It's already topping in the OCG, so we'll see how big an impact Jelly has, and I know it's going to be huge for that deck. Another deck is Artifacts and Chronomalies. Chronomalies apparently are waiting on a Stratos. Nebradisc, I believe is the name. I found like the whole Chronomaly core in one of my tins from some packs I got when I was a bounty at YCS Austin, so that was kind of cool. But we're waiting on Nebradisc. Nebradisc is the Stratos, and I don't think the deck is a pure deck. You run it with Artifacts. Artifacts is the next deck I want to talk about just a little bit. Deck is absolutely insane. Set them all to the back row. You know, they all blow up. They all do crazy things. That's going to be huge from Primal Origins. I think Artifacts are going to be like the biggest impact on this game in a long time. I feel that the way they're played. Cards like Malevolent Catastrophe, which used to be, you know, the way you would win games, are now going to work against you. They're going to main deck that card and be able to just spring all their effects on you. It's absolutely insane. I can see a lot of people doing that. Absorbing Jar is another really cool card I don't think a lot of people remember. That card works great. You trigger all of them, you draw cards. It's ridiculous. I can see a lot of people just doing crazy shenanigans with those monsters when they come out. So Artifacts is definitely something to look out for, and definitely Chronomaly Artifacts if Never Disc comes out, giving the deck its full potential like it has in the OCG. I'm just basing this off of the OCG and things I've seen. Another deck, a deck I know absolutely nothing about. I know nothing about Sylvans. I have not looked into Sylvans at all. I know they're a bunch of plants. They do a lot of excavating. I'm going to be making some videos on Sylvans. I asked on my Facebook this morning about I need some deck lists, I need some deck templates, I need to do some research, take a couple hours, do some research on the deck, get to see how the deck plays, watch a couple games on DN, stuff like that, and see how the deck works, just so that I can get a better idea for what it does and its impact in the meta. I know Primal Origin is going to change everything, but for the time being, this is kind of where we are in Yu-Gi-Oh! We have the exact same format, minor adjustments, and just the potential that a lot of decks can do well, just like last format. Last format, it was clear that by the end of the format, Firefist and Mermail were the best decks again, but Boojins crept up out of nowhere to become one of the top contender decks. Gear Gears were constantly topping. You would randomly see Dark World, you would randomly see Prophecy, you would see other decks like that. And now that we're in a quote-unquote new format, I really don't think it's a new format. I feel it's just an adjustment. We're going to see a lot of the same decks, but we're going to see innovation in a lot of those decks. And I feel that a lot of the same side deck cards that we cited are going to be cited again, and a lot of the cards that we cited before are not going to be cited again. So side decking for the new format will come up as YCS has established themselves. As for myself, I'm preparing right now for YCS Vegas. I mean, it's literally like, it's really last minute to me because I usually plan like a month or so in advance. So now I have to pick a deck, I have to, you know, practice and, you know, do my best. I haven't played in a competitive YCS in a really long time, so time to, you know, put the camera down for a little bit and, you know, play like 10 rounds, 11 rounds of Swiss and, you know, go for that top. But that's what's happening. I'll see you guys at YCS Vegas. You're going, comment below. I will be recording. I'm doing as many deck profiles as possible. I want all 16. If there's top 16, I want all 16. I'll line them up and do them real quick, 2 or 3 minute videos. I don't even care. I just want them done. That's how YCS should be covered. I don't care if the decks repeat. If there's innovation, I want to see it. If there's like a couple cards difference, I want to see it. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's pretty much it. That's like the whole wrap up. But this is what I say will happen when the dust settles. When the dust all settles, we're gonna have a bunch of new decks. Like Sylvans, we're gonna have upgraded Boojins. We're gonna have a lot of different decks, and we're gonna see a lot of innovation, a lot of things change in decks that we didn't think originally would happen. So with that being said, I hope that this is a good format for Yu-Gi-Oh. Last format, there's always people gonna be butting heads about saying was it a good format, a bad format, whatever. But that's his game right now. And Pendulum Summoning is gonna change a bunch of things. The new rule about going first, they have it on Dev Pro. Those of you who have YGO Pro, if you have a MacBook like I do, I didn't even realize this happened, but I won the rock, paper, scissors, and I went first. I'm like, where's my 6th card? And I was like, oh, crap. So they already implemented that on YGO Pro, and I gotta be honest, you guys, it kind of sucks. Like, I didn't realize it until I went first. I was like, oh, I only have 5 cards. I mean, I was playing Gear, but I mean, I was still good. I still had opened armor, but honestly, I want my 6th card. So sometimes going second is going gonna be amazing. So that's a whole spiel. I kind of rambled a little bit, but I just wanted to catch up with you guys, let you know everything's good. Hope everything's good with everyone else. Comment below with any of your thoughts, any videos you want to see from me. I'm gonna try to just get more on a better uploading schedule. I've been trying, just a little hard, but I'll definitely pre-plan videos for you guys and take your thoughts into consideration when it comes to these next videos. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs it up, comments below with everything. Talk about what you feel Primal Origins will do for this format, the cards that are coming out, the decks that will impact the most, and what will happen to the game that we love so much. So anyways, comment below with your thoughts, thumbs it up, and thank you for watching.